Ah, yes. In 2008, a sleeper was created. Bam! Amouage. Lyric Man. Kingly Essence. Very, very beautiful fragrance. Let's hurry up and get this into the spirit immediately. Oh, man, that smells so good. It smells so good. 2008. Something great was created. All right. Now, type of fragrance this would be floral. It is a heavy rose scent, hence me saying that it's a sleeper. A lot of men aren't going to naturally flock to rose fragrances from fears of floral rose fragrances that just suffocate people. Okay, so I think a lot of people are going to avoid this, especially men. But again, kingly fragrance designed for men can definitely be worn by women. But let's get back to the type of fragrance. Again, floral, rose being the dominant note here. I've read that people say this is spicy. I don't get that personally. I think this is a very kind of more of a incensey, woody type of fragrance. I get a lot of incense, frankincense that's popping from the base here. But again, that lime is definitely, woo, but that's in the notes section. When would be the occasion for this? I would say this is a great office scent. If you mind it, it is a very powerful fragrance. Okay, it's a very bold and powerful fragrance. You do not want to overspray this. You definitely want to wear it in more cooler environments, but I don't think this is first interview type. I think it's too sexy for that type of environment. I would say any type of intimate setting, but watch it because it is a very bold and proud fragrance. I would say any type of intimate, maybe an office setting, once you're in a more casual type of environment, you're out of the probationary period, if you will. I would say this could be something that you would break out. But touching back upon the time of day, or rather time of year, I say you can wear this all year round, but you have to be very mindful. So having said that, I would say you can definitely wear this in spring. It's going to push pretty generously because of the heat. Summer, I wouldn't wear this in the middle of a summer day. That's when you start to get into that church, getting smoked out by the older individuals wearing floral fragrances, rose fragrances. It's a very dense, it's a very heavy, it's a very dominating fragrance. It almost pushes out anything that's not itself, right? And I think that's why you can easily overspray this and just choke people out with it. So I wouldn't say that. A summer night, nice cool breeze. It's going to push. It's going to smell sexy. It's going to be really, really nice in that type of environment. Fall, yes, you can start to push this more towards the middle of the day. And, of course, cooler nights. Winter, you don't need that much. This is a unique fragrance because it pushes, but it doesn't need heat to push, right? And so that's, out of all the fragrances I own, this is one of the few fragrances like that, if only, where it doesn't seem to get any boost from heat. Like it just is what it is, right? And it's a very dominant, powerful fragrance. I don't know what concoction or year this one is from, so I mean you have to forgive me. I know this has been reformulated. In fact, when the whole COVID situation hit, I went ahead and purchased mine because I knew it was going to get reformulated. So I got a pre-COVID version. Take with that what you will. I don't know how close this is to the original. I can only speak of the bottle and the fragrance that I have in front of me. And again, gorgeous, beautiful, but very dominant. It just pushes out anything that's not itself. Age group, this is a very sophisticated fragrance. So I would say like a very mature 25-year-old. And you can wear this up until, you're 60, 70. It's a very, very sophisticated, contextualized fragrance. Love it, absolutely love it. And the cap is magnetic, so you can pick it up from the back. It's not a very weak magnet, pretty strong magnet. So yeah, perfect. Presentation, again, very kingly. You got the little crown up top. Pretty sure you can't see that, but yeah, you got the crown up top. brilliant atomizer. You have the beautiful logo on the front, Lyric. For some reason, it doesn't say Lyric Man. I don't know why. That's the name of the fragrance. It just says Lyric. But either way, I do hear this is very similar to the female variant. But again, I can't speak to that. But this is easily a fragrance that a woman could wear. So, I mean, I think the base of it gives it that more, you know, masculine tone. But that lime in the opening and the nature of the fragrance, look at this deep red bottle here. I mean, it's just such a gorgeous, you know, well thought out. I mean, everything you need to know about this fragrance is right on the top. I like the smoky, and again, it goes into that incensey type of fragrance. You get this smoky, grayed out, you know, dull, metallic type of metal. Not to say that it isn't reflective, but it's just got that density to it, and I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of that. Notes we have, of course, I got them written down here. You got bergamot and lime in the opening, and they punch pretty proudly. But that lime and bergamot note is already kind of disappearing since I sprayed this, and we're starting to get into the middle notes here. But yeah, so you have in the opening you have bergamot, lime, beautiful. In the middle notes you have rose, angelica, gabdamen, orange blossom, ginger, nutmeg, and saffron. The saffron is definitely something that I pick up. The rest of them are kind of blended together in a beautiful fashion. Again, it's a well blended fragrance, one that does develop over time. It doesn't just stay very linear. It does develop over time. It does mature. It does get a deeper sense of base to it. I remember the first time I sprayed this and I was out walking around, and I just remember like thinking like, what, I thought I sprayed something else on today, right? It definitely transformed and turned into something else. And it was one of the first fragrances I bought, premium fragrances that I bought, in which I noticed like, hey man, like this is actually changing. It's pretty cool. You hear about people talking about that online, but if you are shopping in designer or anything more affordable, you're probably not going to get that effect. When you start breaching that $200 to $300, $400 price range, you start to see these concoctions evolve and change over time, and it's quite nice. But back into the base, you got musk, pine, sandalwood, frankincense, and vanilla. And again, musk is probably like one of my favorite type of notes. Anything with musk in it is, I don't know, it just delivers a sense of sexy, smooth, just milky type of, you know, creamy type of fragrance. I love those types of things. Frankincense and sandalwood, I think, are pretty like covertly dominant. Again, people say spicy. I don't see it or smell it rather, but not to say that it's not there. But for me and my nose in particular, that frankincense and sandalwood and vanilla, it gives it that, okay, this is a masculine scent. This is something I feel comfortable wearing. I don't want to smell super fruity and florally. You know what I'm saying? Like in a fragrance. I have no problem wearing a female type of scent, such as iris or now rose. No problem with that. But I don't want to smell like overly friendly. You know, it's and I think those are some of the traits of a dominant male trait, dominant male fragrance. But again, it's all subjective, and I could easily see a woman wearing this and it being very different on her chemistry. So those are the notes. Oh man, I love spraying this. Now, my favorite part, the big B-E. Listen. Dominant force here. Dominant force. Dominant force here. Dominant force. 6 feet. I've seen this thing punch, kick, and just stab people in the friendliest of ways. It pushes so far, and part of the reason why is because the Sillage. Oh man, the Sillage is what gives it that big bubble. I don't know how this was created or what it is, but the thing about this fragrance that makes it so unique is that the Sillage is effortlessly picked up and blown in either direction. And so it's kind of hard to say like, oh, this is, you know, how big the bubble is, because it's always getting some type of draft of wind. And it's pushing it so much in every direction. I mean, I've been walking down the street with this on and had it like surprise me. I've never had that in any of the fragrances that I own. You know, I've had fragrances where like I gotta kind of remind myself, oh, this smells good, or maybe my shirt moves. I've never just had the wind just pick up my fragrance and like throw it around the room. If you have a fan on, it's gonna be pushing. And again, I think that's just a dominant trait of Rose, right? Like when you think about those, you know, individuals, some of those older ladies that are in church, they're not necessarily moving, but you can smell their fragrance. It's very dominant. I don't know what it is, but I think Rose is just one of those gifted fragrances that create this massive bubble and this massive sillage that creates this just dominant wind-picking bubble, you know, bubble-fied force. So again, sleeper fragrance, very, very beautiful, very, very well put together, kingly, and just presentation. I don't have the box anymore, but even the box was such a nice experience. You pull up the top and it's sitting there in some flocked material, and it's a good time. So that's the review. Welcome to the InScentive Collection. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Let me know what you think about this video, and let me know what you think about whether or not you want to buy this, because it is stupendous. That's the video. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.